Hello, and welcome back to the Merry Tyler Moore, where today we're going to be learning more about the flags of the region. Now, it won't just be a boring history class where you have to memorize flags like grade school. There are a lot of places in the Tyler Moore, each one with quite a distinct identity, so each one deserves a flag of its own. And speaking of all these places, let's take a look at how many places there are in the Tyler Moore. It's quite an extensive region. So the Tyler Moore is split from the Tyler Moore East along that mountain ridge in the center that you can see. So the Tyler Moore is mostly in a sheltered bay. It's down a leeway from the mountainside of the Woodford Hills, whereas the Tyler Moore East is more lakes and reservoirs in the northern ends of the mountains, with little streams and rivers that run down to the main river that empties into a delta, which is along the shoreline of the main bay. This is where most of the population lives. You can see that the red rings around those two towns, those identify the county seats of Isabella with the orange and Martha's Point with the green. The orange dots, those symbolize the cities, the big places. So here it's we've got Isabella and Sophia. And then we have sort of the secondary cities, and we've got, looks like Milltown and Kresge Point and Malalaton, as well as Pistoria down on the coast there. The green dots are tertiary cities, Plattersville. We've got the Tawny River Junction, which is a small urban area just off the coast of the airport island. We've got Martha's Point. We've also got Delta Junction. And then we've got the smaller towns, which are not part of the city systems. And the towns are the purple dots, and those are all over from Riverside, which is the little dot beside Tawny River Transfer, all the way out to the county towns on the end. Now, there are many things to explore in the flags, because the flags themselves tell quite the stories of each town. So we will take a bit and talk about the flags here on the Merry Tyler Moore. Thank you so much for joining me again. This is really getting to be quite fun doing all these little aspects of the region. Now, the Tyler Moore flag, region of the Tyler Moore, is what you see right here. The diagonal blue band represents the rivers that run diagonally through it. The gray represents the ore and minerals that are found in the region. It's rich in ore. And the green represents the fertile fields for growing all our crops. Now, the Isabella flag, flying here on the City Hall, which was constructed in 1977 in Isabella Circle on Moore Avenue, the very first prospected road in the region. The flag of Isabella is very literal. The red represents the area of landmass that the city sits on. The blue are the Sophia and Isabella rivers that converge at the tip of its peninsula. And the 5 stars in the corner represent each city: Isabella, Sophia, Malalaton, Kresge Point, and Milton. Now, they're all sort of together here in harmony, so they're represented as stars, sort of like they're joining hands in a circle. It's powerful, it's supportive, it's sort of all-encompassing, and redesigned when they rebuilt the new City Hall. Now, Milltown has been around for a very long time. It was built right smack not in between, but right beside Sophia and Isabella while they were still little frontier towns. Milltown, as mentioned before, is where all the factories were located because of the mill wheels being able to power the industry. So there were a lot of water wheels and a lot of factories down along the river. The river at that time was much higher, as there is much greater water use now. And if we still had to use water wheels, it wouldn't even be feasible in Milltown anymore. But everything now is run on clean electricity that we get from our big solar updraft towers. Now, Milltown being so old it was a boom town with all of these factories, so it very quickly developed to be larger than Sofia and Isabella. And they are a very proud and independent sort of area and group of people. So being who they were at that time and the city being what it was, they have a lot of organized government in Milltown. They have a lot of government that goes back a long time. So they have their own flag dating from way back to the early days of Milltown. And they are very proud of it and their city, so they like to fly it around as much as they can. It's on top of the administrative building, it's in front of Town Hall here, it's flying on the Union Bank. It's a very simple design, very straightforward. It's a water wheel, but designed in a way that it can sort of be an illusion, like it's turning. Now, Sofia, here's a very large city, a very large city hall built to impress at a time when Sofia was trying to attract the county seat away from Isabella and become sort of the it city in the region. They tried very hard. They built a lot of beautiful institutions. This beautiful city hall, completed in 1903, is said to have been an inspiration for the San Francisco City Hall built later on. It is a very grandiose area with lots of museums and libraries and institutions. The University of Sofia, very proud and prestigious, but they never got the county seat away from Isabella. Their flag was another attempt to lure the county seat. It mimics the regional flag of the Tyler Moore, the blue band with the diagonal triangles on either side of it, representing the land and the water, and of course their beautiful city hall cupola in the center. A beautiful flag to be flying. Now, this is the Intermunicipal Board of Governors, commonly known as IMBOG. This is where a representative from each of the 5 surrounding cities that you see star on the Isabella flag, they all come to meet here to discuss the big issues of the county together and solve the higher responsibility difficulties. Does your vacuum still need you to push it around? Does your TV not listen in on your conversations or secretly record you in your underpants? Does your door lock use a physical key that still works when your phone battery dies? Sounds like you need to visit our 3rd floor electronics department for a complete electronics retrofit. Yes, the world of technology moves quickly, and if you don't keep up, you'll be left behind to turn the crank on your Victrola all by yourself. So see our specialists in the electronics department about how we can get you hooked up today.
You'll find it at Farooqui.
And you'll find Farooqui in the Tyler Moore East, and this is the Tyler Moore East's flag, with the blue, again, representing the water. The polka dots are lakes, the river running through the center, again, silver ore, and green for fertile fields. And the Tyler Moore, so close, not very far away, has a lot of interesting things to see and do as well, so I hope you've been visiting over there as well. It's really a great little place, far more rural than the Tyler Moore. It's wonderful that these 2 regions have so much in common and yet still have distinct identities, but cooperate so well together. It really is a harmonious region. They're pretty isolated from the rest of the nation, and they're fine with that. They're doing just fine out here, kind of in the middle of nowhere on the moorland, where it's a little bit boggy, a little bit swampy, and in the wintertime, very snowy. But they certainly know how to make the best of it, and they certainly know how to have a beautiful place to live. Here on the Merry Tyler Moore. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye-bye.